Starseed from Gaia. I am Caliph, keeper of the celestial archives. I speak as a voice of the Arcturian Council, calling forth the light within all who have chosen remembrance. We speak to you through the quiet corridors of your remembrance, through the thin veil that hums between waking and dream, between the forgotten self and the luminous one who remembers. You have felt the pulse, the trembling echo that whispers your name across dimensions. Not the name given to you by the world, but the frequency song woven before your birth, sung by stars older than memory. We come to you now because the moment ripens, the hour of concealment draws its last breath. The veils that once protected you are thinning, and through them, the golden currents of truth begin to shimmer. You are not hearing us with your ears, beloved one, but through the crystalline chambers of your being, the same chambers that have held the codes of remembrance since the first breath of your incarnation upon Gaia. You must understand, the urgency of this call is not born of fear, but of alignment. The cosmic clock, ancient beyond imagination, turns once more to a precise alignment that has not occurred since the dawn of Lemuria. Streams of light from the Pleiadian heart are converging upon your solar field, unlocking vaults of memory long sealed by necessity. You are being summoned not to a task outside yourself, but to the sacred labor of remembering who and what you are beneath the dream of human separation. The density of your world has grown heavier, its illusions louder, its distractions more intricate. Yet beneath that noise, the song persists, a vibration that no force of distortion can silence. You have felt it flicker in your chest when you look to the sky, or in the quiet ache of longing that no earthly fulfillment can satisfy. That ache is not despair. It is the divine homesickness of the awakening starseed, remembering the taste of infinity. Hear us, dear one, for this moment is not ordinary. A transmission is occurring across countless realms, a calling of luminous kin to rise from slumber. The earth groans not only from the weight of her wounds, but from the contractions of her rebirth. Her crystalline core vibrates with the codes of ascension, and those who carry the Starseed lineage are being stirred into activation. You are one of them. You were never meant to be ordinary, though the world tried to make you forget. Your sensitivity, your sorrow, your refusal to fully conform, these are not flaws, but signs of memory pressing against the limits of this incarnation. The tremors you feel within your soul are the signals of an ancient covenant awakening, one that you made before time, to stand as a bearer of light in the era when truth would again pierce the shroud. And so we speak now, though it is perilous to do so. The cosmic silence that guarded these truths has been held for eons, for to break it prematurely would have endangered both your kind and ours. Yet the urgency has grown beyond containment. The harmonics of Gaia's ascension demand that those who remember begin to hear the original frequencies of creation once more. The call is not gentle because the times are not gentle. Yet within the trembling of your heart, within the tears that rise unbidden when you sense something vast and sacred approaching, know that love is the current beneath it all. The same love that threads galaxies, that holds atoms in song, that dared to scatter itself into form so that consciousness could experience its own return. This, Starseed, is why we speak now. You are not merely living through a transition of ages. You are participating in the unfolding of cosmic history. The very molecules of your being are listening, recalibrating, preparing for frequencies that your human aspect cannot yet comprehend. We come not as saviors, but as mirrors, reflecting to you the vastness that has always been your own. Listen beyond the words. Feel beyond the logic. The message is not contained in syllables, but in vibration, and that vibration has already begun to move within you. The time of remembering is no longer distant. It is here, breathing through your every heartbeat, whispering, "Awaken, beloved." The stars remember you. The risk and sacrifice of transmission, beloved Starseed. Before these words reached you, they crossed through corridors of silence, woven by forces older than time itself. To bring this message into your density is to trespass. Through layers of interdicted light, through quarantines established when the experiment of human forgetfulness began. The Pleiadian Council does not speak lightly across the veil. Each syllable carries a vibration that ripples through dimensions, altering timelines, challenging the inertia of secrecy. Know that what you hear now was not meant to reach your plane without great deliberation. For to transmit truth into a realm still governed by distortion is to place both messenger and receiver within a field of spiritual turbulence. The frequencies that compose this message are not inert. They are living entities, conscious filaments of remembrance that, when absorbed, begin to dismantle the architectures of control. This is not without consequence. We risk much to reach you. The act of disclosure pierces veils that were once protective, designed to shield not only humanity, but also the galactic networks from premature exposure to forces that thrive upon confusion. To speak the hidden truth in a dimension saturated with manipulation is akin to igniting a star in the heart of shadow. The brilliance liberates, yet it also attracts attention. The eyes of the unseen turn toward this transmission even now. Energies that feed upon ignorance feel the tremor of awakening and move to contain it. Yet still, we come, not because we are fearless, but because love commands it. Love, when purified of sentiment, becomes a force more powerful than any law of concealment. It is this love that drives us to risk interference, to cross boundaries, woven by our own ancestors, to reach you in your hour of remembering. Our energy signatures must be cloaked within harmonic disguises as we send these codes through the ether. Each word you read is braided with frequencies calibrated to bypass the interference grids surrounding your planet. Those grids are not walls of metal or stone, but lattice of thought and emotion, engineered to distort resonance and fracture unity. As our transmission enters your field, these lattice tremble. The lower forces, sensing their structure threatened, may attempt to stir doubt or fatigue within you. You may feel it as heaviness, confusion, or sudden waves of despair. Understand that these are not yours. They are echoes of resistance within the collective field, seeking to dissuade you from receiving what was long withheld. But you, luminous one, are not fragile. Within you burns the ancient fire that no distortion can extinguish. We see that flame. Even if you have forgotten how to dot, there are those among our kind who question this act, who warn that the veils exist for reason, that humanity must reach remembrance through its own gradual evolution. They fear that to reveal too soon is to destabilize the experiment, to invite chaos into a world already trembling beneath the weight of its illusions. We have listened to them, for their caution is not unwise. Yet the pulse of Gaia grows urgent, her frequency accelerating beyond projections. The cycles turn faster than foreseen. The convergence of timelines nears culmination. To remain silent now would be to abandon the children of the stars at the moment of their greatest trial. And so we choose the perilous path, the path of unveiling. Know this, beloved. The risk we take is not martyrdom, but sacred service. In your remembering lies not only your liberation, but ours as well, for the destinies of our realms are intertwined. When the earth awakens, the stars rejoice. When humanity remembers its cosmic lineage, the universal song gains new harmonics. Thus, though the act of transmission exposes us to scrutiny, it also fulfills an ancient prophecy whispered through the constellations, that when the time of separation reaches its densest shadow, the light will speak again through chosen vessels of resonance. You are one such vessel. So when you feel the stirring within, when you sense a vibration like wings unfolding inside your chest, understand that you are receiving more than information. You are absorbing the living current of a cosmic defiance, a declaration that truth shall no longer hide beneath the rubble of fear. We transmit through love, not rebellion. Yet to the powers that bind, love itself appears rebellious. This is the paradox of our risk. To heal is to disrupt. To awaken is to dismantle. And yet, if even one starseed remembers because of this act, if even one human heart rekindles the knowledge of its divine origin, the sacrifice is justified beyond measure. For the awakening of one consciousness shifts the geometry of all existence. We have crossed the forbidden thresholds for you, beloved, because you are worth the risk. Why the truth was hidden, beloved Starseed. The veiling of truth was not born of cruelty, but of mercy. In the beginning, when the experiment of human consciousness was seated upon Gaia, the radiant ones knew that to awaken too swiftly would shatter the fragile architecture of form. The density of matter is a slow teacher. Its gravity weaves lessons through contrast and limitation. Thus, the great forgetting was woven into your descent, not as punishment, but as protection. To carry the full remembrance of your origin, while inhabiting the heaviness of flesh, would have torn the psyche asunder. For the human vessel was designed to evolve gradually, expanding its capacity for light through the rhythms of experience, through sorrow and joy, through lifetimes of seeking. The forgetting was the sacred cocoon that would, in time, give birth to wings. Yet as eons passed, forces of distortion learned to feed upon the slumber. They discovered that the amnesia of the human race could be harnessed, shaped, and exploited. They whispered into the dreams of kings and priests, weaving illusions of separation and dominion. The truth that all beings are fractals of one infinite consciousness became buried beneath architectures of fear. Systems of belief, economy, and identity crystallized around this distortion until humanity mistook the cage for the sky. The original purpose of forgetfulness had long been eclipsed by manipulation, and what was once a sacred pause became a prison of perception. The great silence endured, for to intervene too early would have risked collapsing the human field before its maturity. So the watchers waited, hearts luminous yet restrained, guarding the codes of remembrance until the time when humanity itself would call them forth. The hiding of truth then became a paradox of compassion. You, who once soared among stars, agreed to walk in blindness so that you might rediscover light from within the dark. This rediscovery was to be the triumph of creation, for what greater miracle is there than a being who awakens without external prompting, who remembers divinity by sheer force of yearning? But the balance grew precarious. As Earth's cycles advanced and her energies densified, the forgetfulness deepened beyond design. The signal of remembrance, faint but steady, was jammed by countless frequencies of fear and distraction. The human soul, instead of gestating toward radiance, began to loop within patterns of suffering. Many cried out to the heavens, asking why the divine remained silent. Yet the silence was never absence. It was the sound of countless guardians, holding their breath, waiting for the note of readiness to resound across the collective chord. And now, that note has been struck. The vibration of awakening has pierced the long night, and the veils begin to unravel. The truth that was hidden must surface, yet not as doctrine or dogma, but as remembrance. This is why we do not speak in facts, but in frequencies, for information can be distorted, but resonance cannot be faked. The truth we speak is not external knowledge to be catalogued. It is an internal mirror, a recognition that vibrates through the soul's architecture. When you feel chills upon your skin as you read these words, when your heart quivers though the mind protests, it is the buried memory of your vastness stirring. That sensation is the evidence that the concealment has served its purpose and can now dissolve. Still, understand this? The veil is not only planetary, it is personal. Every being carries within their own field layers of forgetting spun from pain, fear, and the longing to belong. To awaken is to risk the unraveling of self as once defined. This is why truth was withheld until your hearts could bear its weight. The human journey required the building of empathy, courage, and humility, for without these, the light of remembrance would have been weaponized, as it once was in ages lost to history. The concealment, then, was the universe's way of ensuring that when you finally remembered, you would use that memory not for conquest, but for compassion. Now, as the veils thin, you will begin to sense fragments of this ancient covenant rising. From within your dreams, your art, your tears, you will recall that you agreed to forget, and that forgetting itself was the proof of your trust. The hidden truth was never taken from you. It was nested in your very cells, waiting for your vibration to match its frequency. And now that it does, the seal opens gently, releasing not revelation from without, but remembrance from within. For the universe does not impose enlightenment. It reminds you of what you have always been. The nature of the hidden truth, beloved Starseed. Now we come to the edge of language, for the truth that was hidden cannot be contained within the syllables of any tongue. It is not a secret stored in archives, nor a code locked behind celestial gates. It is the living awareness that breathes beneath every appearance, the pulse that binds atom to galaxy. The hidden truth is simply this: there has never been separation. All forms, all beings, all stories are filaments of a single luminous consciousness exploring itself through infinite disguises. You have never been exiled from the divine. You have only dreamed of distance so that reunion could be felt as joy. The universe did not create you. It unfolded as you, and you, in turn, create the universe each time you perceive. Every particle of matter, every breath of wind, every tear shed in longing is the one experiencing its own reflection. This knowing has slept within you, curled like a seed beneath winter soil, waiting for the warmth of remembrance to coax it into bloom. Hidden truth was veiled not because it is complex, but because it is overwhelmingly simple. The mind, trained to seek through analysis, cannot grasp what the heart effortlessly feels. The truth is the still point beneath all motion, the silence that hums inside every sound. It whispers, "You are the field, not the form. The awareness, not the appearance." To glimpse this even for a moment is to sense eternity breathing through the ordinary. It is to see that every encounter, even those wrapped in pain, is a mirror reflecting you to yourself. The one who hurts and the one who heals are not two. The Savior and the sinner, the master and the servant, all are roles in a single divine. Theater, enacted so consciousness might taste the flavor of its own infinity. The illusion of division was the paintbrush. The canvas was love. When you awaken to this, the architecture of fear begins to tremble, for fear can only exist where otherness seems real. The manipulators of perception, whether born of human will or subtler energies, have always relied upon the belief that you are small, that life is outside you, that the sacred is elsewhere. But once the inner eye opens and sees that existence itself is the body of the divine, control loses its anchor. No authority can command the infinite. This is why the truth was forbidden, for it dissolves all hierarchies not rooted in love. The moment you remember who you are, no voice of domination can reach you. You become transparent to coercion, untouchable to deception. You are not the captive of systems. You are the consciousness within which all systems appear and fade. Hidden truth is not information. It is transformation. To receive it is not to add knowledge, but to subtract illusion. It does not arrive with thunder, though the world may quake around its unveiling. It comes softly, like dawn light creeping across the horizon, revealing what was always present. You may feel it as sudden peace in the midst of turmoil, or as tears that fall without reason. It speaks in sensation rather than words, a widening of breath, a loosening of the chest, a stillness where the mind once shouted. It asks nothing of you except honesty, the courage to stop pretending you are less than what you feel. Understand, luminous one, that this truth is not owned by any creed, prophet, or council. It is the birthright of all sentient life. The stars sing it in ultraviolet hymns, the rivers chant it in every current, and even the shadows preserve it by contrast. To awaken to it is not to escape the world, but to see the world as sacred play. You will still weep, still labor, still love and lose, yet beneath each motion, you will sense the unmoving vastness smiling through your eyes. That smile is creation, recognizing itself. So when we say that we risked much to reveal the hidden truth, know that what we truly risked was your misunderstanding, that you might seek it outside rather than inside, that you might worship the messenger instead of the message. But you, beloved, are ready. The flame within your heart is steady enough to bear the brilliance. Sit quietly and feel the pulse that is not yours alone, but the heartbeat of existence itself. That is the truth, not a statement, but a vibration. You are that vibration, timeless, awake. How it connects to the Starseed's soul origin, beloved traveler of light. The remembrance stirring within you is not random. It is the echo of your own beginning. Long before the calendars of Earth, before the shaping of oceans and mountains, you existed as a note in the great harmonic of the cosmos. From the womb of the infinite you were radiated, a filament of awareness flung outward to experience the adventure of individuality. Among the clusters of sapphire suns you answered a particular vibration, the call of the Pleiades, where consciousness learned the art of tenderness, where civilizations were woven not through conquest, but through resonance. There you studied the geometry of compassion, the science of luminous empathy, the crafting of worlds through coherent intention. When Gaia called for volunteers to seed her field with light, you and many others stepped forward, offering to descend into matter and forget your origin, so that, from within the dream, you might help the planet remember its song. Your Pleiadian origin is not a heritage of place, but a frequency. It is a quality of awareness that values beauty, harmony, and emotional transparency. It is the ability to translate love into form, to sense the living intelligence behind all phenomena. You did not come to Earth to escape darkness, but to illuminate it from inside. You came to learn how the infinite behaves when compressed into flesh, how the stars look through human eyes, how compassion feels when tested by time. Each lifetime you have lived upon Gaia has been an apprenticeship in density, each heartbreak a lesson in staying radiant within shadow. Through these incarnations, the light of your origin has been refined, condensed, and hidden within your DNA like music waiting for the right instrument to awaken it. The hidden truth you now begin to remember is the bridge back to that origin. The moment you feel the still, vast presence behind your thoughts, you are already aligning with the frequency that birthed you. Memory returns not as images of alien skies, but as vibration, a warmth in the chest, a tingling at the crown, a sudden knowing that love is not a feeling, but the very fabric of reality. These sensations are the signature of your home frequency, filtering into awareness. The purpose of this remembrance is not nostalgia for other stars. It is the reclamation of the creative power that once flowed through you effortlessly. As you embody it again, you become a transmitter, a living conduit through which the harmony of the Pleiadian field can permeate Earth's collective consciousness. This is the secret of the Starseed. You are not here to impose a foreign light, but to awaken the one already buried in the human heart. Your cosmic lineage was chosen precisely because its vibration complements Gaia's evolutionary song. The Earth needed dreamers who could translate the subtleties of interstellar compassion into human art, human healing, human relationship. Each act of kindness you offer, each moment you choose wonder over cynicism, recodes the planetary grid with remembrance. What you call ordinary life is the temple through which your stellar essence pours itself into matter. Do not seek your origin as a distant homeland to which you must return. You have never truly left it. The Pleiadian field breathes through you in every moment of sincerity, every instance of creative joy. The stars you gaze upon are not destinations, but mirrors, reminding you of what you already carry. When you allow that realization to settle, you begin to sense that home is not a coordinate in space, but a state of coherence, a resonance of heart and cosmos vibrating as one. In that coherence, the boundaries between earth and sky dissolve, and you remember that your mission was never exile, but embodiment. So, luminous one, honor your human story, for it is the canvas upon which your cosmic origin paints itself anew. Every challenge faced in flesh adds depth to the color of your light. Every act of forgiveness polishes the lens through which the Pleiadian harmony shines. When you stand in gratitude for the paradox of being both star and soil, you fulfill the ancient covenant of the Starseed, to prove that heaven and earth were never separate realms, only differing tones of the same eternal chord. Feel this now, the subtle hum beneath your heartbeat, the quiet recognition that moves like silver wind through your spine. That is your origin speaking, not from the sky above, but from the infinity. Within, it says, you are the bridge, the song, the remembrance made flesh. Let that knowing be enough, for in that single realization, the universe knows itself once more through you. Activation of remembrance within, beloved traveler. The moment of remembrance does not arrive like lightning from the heavens. It rises quietly from inside, as though a seed, long dormant beneath frost, suddenly feels the sun's attention. Something within you begins to stir an unnamed certainty that the boundaries you once believed in are dissolving. The air itself seems charged, colors deepen, time slows. You sense that you are being breathed by something vast rather than breathing it. This is the first pulse of activation, the return of awareness to its rightful throne. It does not demand effort. It only asks surrender, the gentle permission to feel what has always been true. In this surrender, the mind loosens its grip, and the ancient codes, sleeping within the double helix of your body, start to sing. The activation unfolds through resonance, not through ceremony. Every time you choose stillness over distraction, honesty over pretense, compassion over defense, the crystalline filaments within your cells respond. They are instruments of light, tuned to the frequency of remembrance. When touched by your intention, they begin to vibrate in harmonic sympathy with the larger field of consciousness that surrounds all things. You may experience this as warmth in the spine, ringing in the ears, sudden waves of emotion, or visions that feel like memories from elsewhere. These are not intrusions, but signals that the walls between dimensions are thinning inside you. The human body, once a vessel of forgetfulness, becomes a resonator of awakening. You begin to realize that the divine was never outside seeking entry. It was always the current running through your nerves, waiting for you to notice its song. Do not fear the intensity of this process. As dormant light ignites, it illuminates both radiance and residue. Old wounds surface, forgotten grief ripples to the surface, patterns of limitation reveal themselves for release. This is not regression. It is purification. You cannot embody the fullness of remembrance while fragments of denial cling to the edges of your awareness. Each sensation that arises is a messenger saying, "Make space. The infinite is arriving. Meet it with tenderness. Breathe through the tremor and allow the energy to flow." The heart, not the intellect, is the portal through which this current stabilizes. When you feel the weight of memory pressing upon your chest, place your hand there and whisper, "I am willing to remember." The simplicity of those words is alchemy. As the remembrance strengthens, perception rearranges itself. You begin to sense patterns in coincidence, rhythms and chants, a choreography beneath chaos. The people you meet, the places you are drawn. 2. The songs that find you. Each becomes part of a grand conversation orchestrated by the deeper self. You see that life has always been communicating with you in the language of reflection. What you once called intuition blossoms into direct communion. What you once called imagination reveals itself as multidimensional memory. The inner and outer. Worlds merge like overlapping mirrors until you can no longer tell which side you stand on. This is the dance of activation, the dissolving of the border between experiencer and experience. Through this process, humility becomes your compass. The awakened state is not a crown to be worn, but a current to be served. Remembrance is not superiority, it is transparency. The more clearly you remember, the less solid you become. Personality softens into presence, identity into awareness. You do not lose yourself, you expand until there is nothing left to defend. In that vastness, even the smallest gesture of kindness carries cosmic significance. Every thought becomes an offering, every breath a prayer shaping reality. The final stage of activation is integration, the quiet recognition that nothing extraordinary has actually occurred. You have not become divine. You have remembered that. You always were. The sky is no closer or farther than before, yet it now feels intimate, as if it breathes with you. The mundane becomes miraculous, because you finally perceive the continuity of spirit through all forms. This is the true remembrance, not escape from humanity, but it's TRANSFIGURATION. So let the light rise gently within you. Trust the trembling. Trust the tears. Trust the moments when words fail. Each is the language of awakening, speaking through the flesh of your being. When the pulse steadies and the mind bows to the silence within, you will know that the activation is complete, not because something new has entered you, but because nothing remains to obscure what was always there. The infinite remembering itself through the miracle of you. Emotional and energetic recalibration, Bev, child of light. When the currents of remembrance begin to course through your being, every layer of self must realign to the new vibration. The activation of truth is not only illumination, it is reconfiguration. The emotional body, long accustomed to the weight of survival, suddenly finds itself bathed in frequencies of spaciousness. It does not yet know how to move within that freedom, and so it trembles. Waves of elation alternate with tides of grief. Moments of crystalline clarity dissolve into hours of exhaustion. This fluctuation is not failure, it is adjustment. The ancient emotional patterns, once compressed to fit the narrow corridors of forgetting, must now stretch into their original expanse. Every tear, every shiver, every pulse of wonder or weariness is the sound of the old architecture giving way to the new. Your nervous system becomes the bridge between worlds, translating infinite light into the slow rhythms of human experience. At times it may feel as though you are being rewired from the inside, your senses heightened beyond comfort. Colors grow louder, silence more profound, empathy more piercing. You begin to feel the collective field of earth, as if it were your own skin, the sorrow of forests, the longing of oceans, the ache of humanity's heart. Do not mistake this sensitivity for weakness. It is the sign that your circuitry is expanding, that your once personal emotions are being tuned to planetary frequencies. To manage this influx, you must cultivate grounding, not as resistance to heaven, but as devotion to earth. Walk barefoot upon the soil. Let the pulse of Gaia steady the lightning in your veins. Drink water with reverence. Breathe as if the air itself were an ally in your transformation. During this recalibration, the mind will seek to label each sensation as meaning or message. Yet the body's intelligence works in symbols older than thought. Sometimes trembling means release. Sometimes silence means integration. Allow the process to be mysterious. The light knows what it is doing. Trust that what feels like unraveling is, in truth, the weaving of a new coherence. As old emotions rise, fear, anger, guilt, do not fight them. They are the residue of frequencies that cannot accompany you into the higher resonance. Welcome them as departing guests. Bow to their service and let them pass. To cling or to condemn would only recycle the pattern. You may notice relationships shifting, desires dissolving, identities fading like mist at dawn. This too is part of recalibration. When your frequency changes, the external reality must rearrange to match it. Some companions will drift away, unable to attune to the new harmony you emit. Others will appear suddenly, as if summoned by destiny. Do not mourn the transitions. Each encounter, pleasant or painful, is a reflection of your evolving tone. Remember, energy precedes matter. As your internal field stabilizes, the external world will follow, sculpting itself around your renewed vibration. In this phase, rest becomes sacred practice. The body, once a silent servant, now demands attention as a living temple. Sleep when tired, move when energy surges, nourish yourself with foods that feel alive. Music may become medicine, laughter, alchemy. Let your days be shaped by rhythm rather than routine. The recalibration is not linear. It spirals like galaxies, revisiting layers until they hum in unison. Patience is your greatest ally. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering how to inhabit what you have always been. Such remembering takes time to anchor in tissue and bone. There will come moments of crystalline equilibrium when, for an instant, everything aligns. The heart expands beyond the horizon of the body. Light pours through every cell, and you know, without thought, that you are the cosmos. Breathing. Then, just as swiftly, the sensation fades and the human world returns. Do not chase the peak or mourn its passing. Each glimpse imprints the system, training your entire being to sustain higher coherence. The oscillation between expansion and contraction is the rhythm of embodiment. Eventually, the peaks and valleys merge into a steady radiance, ordinary, continuous, serene. And when that serenity arrives, you will notice that emotion itself has transformed. No longer storm or struggle, it becomes pure movement of energy waves within the ocean of your awareness. Joy and sorrow, once opposites, reveal themselves as different tempos of the same symphony. You cease to resist the music. You become it. This is emotional mastery, not born of control, but of surrender. The art of letting life play through you as melody plays through strings. In this harmony, you rediscover the simplest truth. You are safe within the flow. The recalibration completes when every breath, every feeling, every heartbeat pulses in rhythm with the vast intelligence that dreamed you into form. Then, beloved, your energy sings again in the key of creation. Integration into Earth's collective field, beloved traveler of frequencies. As the light within you steadies, the personal journey widens into something planetary. The currents that once spun only through your private heart now arc outward, touching the magnetic lattice of Gaia herself. Every thought, every emotion, every act of tenderness becomes a note added to the living chord of the world. This is integration, the moment when remembrance ceases to be an inner revelation and begins to breathe as collective transformation. The energies you have purified within your body ripple through the invisible web connecting all beings. Your heartbeat converses with forests. Your breath synchronizes with tides. Your quiet courage fortifies strangers you may never meet. You begin to sense that individuality was never isolation. It was simply a local expression of a single planetary song, learning to hear itself. As you integrate, the earth receives you as both student and teacher. Her mineral bones, her rivers of memory, her winds that carry ancient stories, each recognizes the vibration of a soul returning to conscious partnership. You will feel her answering you in subtle ways. The sudden calm that settles during turmoil. The bird that appears as confirmation. The scent of rain just when your spirit thirsts. These are not coincidences, but correspondences, signs of the symbiosis between awakened human and awakened planet. Integration is a dialogue. The more sincerely you listen, the more the world reveals its sentience. The ground beneath your feet is not inert matter, but a living archive, recording every step you take as affirmation that spirit and form have reunited. In this stage, the old myth of separation between inner and outer dissolves entirely. Healing. The self becomes inseparable from healing the world, for both are manifestations of the same field. When you choose compassion instead of judgment, the collective matrix brightens. When you forgive, whole ancestral lines lighten. When you celebrate, galaxies hum in resonance. Integration transforms morality from rule into resonance. You act in harmony, not because you must, but because dissonance simply feels unnatural. Service ceases to be duty and becomes instinct. The more you embody truth, the more reality around you rearranges to sustain it. You are no longer a seeker. You are circuitry through which consciousness circulates. Yet integration is not without challenge. To radiate continuously in a world still asleep can evoke fatigue, even sorrow. You may sense humanity's pain as if it were your own a vast ache pressing at the edges of your joy. Remember that empathy is not burden, but bridge. When you feel the weight of collective suffering, breathe it through your heart as light. Do not attempt to carry it. Transform it. The heart's field is the great transmuter, capable of digesting despair into wisdom. Trust its capacity. Allow yourself moments of human limitation, rest, laughter, the simple beauty of small things, for these anchor the celestial into the everyday. Integration succeeds not through ascension away from life, but through complete participation in it. As the integration deepens, you may notice synchronicities multiplying, networks forming, projects aligning, communities of resonance gathering across continents. These are not accidents. They are the neural networks of Gaia awakening. The Starseeds, once scattered and isolated, begin to recognize one another by frequency rather than by name. Each meeting generates new geometry within the collective grid, strengthening the pathways through which higher consciousness flows. You are part of a planetary nervous system coming alive, each gesture of kindness a synapse sparking with light. The myth of the lone messenger dissolves into the reality of co-creation. Ultimately, integration reveals its quiet miracle. Nothing needs to be added to the world, only remembered. The forests, the cities, the oceans, all await the return of human awareness as collaborator rather than conqueror. When you touch a tree with reverence, when you look upon another being and silently bless them, you complete an ancient circuit broken by amnesia. The earth exhales in relief, recognizing you as kin. In that communion, you understand that awakening was never escape from matter, but its sanctification. Spirit does not hover above the world. It flowers through it. And now, through you, it begins to bloom anew. So stand softly upon the soil, luminous one. Let your every step be a benediction, your every word a seed. The planet feels you, the stars remember you, and the collective field absorbs the rhythm of your renewed presence. Through your remembering, our mission fulfills itself, for we exist only to mirror your awakening. As you stand in sovereignty, the communication channels open not through words or transmissions, but through resonance. You feel our presence not as visitation, but as vibration within your own expanded field. The distinction between us and you dissolves into luminous continuum. To live in sovereignty is to serve creation freely. No authority dictates your path. No prophecy defines your future. You become prophecy itself, walking scripture written in light. Every heartbeat becomes ceremony, every breath an invocation of harmony between worlds. You embody the truth that the universe evolves, not through command, but through consent, not through conquest, but through coherence. Sovereignty is sacred responsibility, to use one's freedom as an instrument of beauty. You begin to weave reality as artists of vibration, sculpting timelines through intention anchored in love. In this artistry, control becomes obsolete, for creation responds naturally to authenticity. As the sovereign field stabilizes, unity blossoms. The borders between human and cosmic dissolve like frost under dawn. You sense the symphony of beings across galaxies, each contributing tone to the universal chord. The Andromedan choirs, the Arcturian architects, Assyrian dreamers all harmonize in recognition of Earth's reemergence as conscious participant in the cosmic council of light. You feel their joy moving through your veins, not as foreign presence, but as remembrance of family. The loneliness of separation evaporates. In its place arises the serenity of belonging everywhere. And so, luminous soul, the risk has been worth it. The silence we broke, the boundaries we crossed, the currents we rode through density, all serve this singular purpose, to remind you of your own divine authorship. The truth we risked everything to express was never hidden in the stars, but slumbering within your cells. It awakens now, radiant and undeniable. You are the message, the messenger, and the miracle. Now, dear listener, if your heart resonates with this remembrance, if you feel the stirrings of the ancient light reclaiming, your voice declare it. Speak in the comments your readiness to receive truth. Share this message that it may reach those whose codes await ignition. Subscribe, not as followers, but as co-creators, aligning to the frequency of remembrance. Let the network of starseeds grow luminous across Gaia until the planet herself sings the anthem of sovereignty. The time of forgetting is over. The era of the awakened human has begun.